Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Equestrian Professional Members Only Group Coaching Session. Tonight, we're going to be talking about how to leverage your time and money to increase sales and marketing success. My name is Elizabeth McMillan. I'm the editor and founder of Equestrian Professional, and I will be your speaker tonight. So we are just going to jump right in. And the first thing we're going to talk about is why most marketing fails to deliver. And then we're going to talk about what is a sales process and how do we fix it. So why does most marketing fail to deliver? It fails to deliver because it's usually not connected to a sales process, which is not connected to a sales funnel. So let me explain. First, let's look at what a typical sales process can look like in the horse industry. Say a client searches Google and then they get to your website. The next thing that needs to happen is they need to spend some time on your website. And then the next thing that needs to happen is they have to contact you. Usually it's going to be via email or phone. And then if you look through the typical sales process, there's several other things that have to happen before that person becomes a customer. And what we see is that if any of these things don't happen, it interrupts the sales process and that sale does not become complete. So what do we do? One of the things that we have found in our studies and also in other national studies is that follow-up is really essential. And I'm not going to read all the numbers on the slide, but what I'm going to tell you is that the main number talks about that 80% of sales are made in the 5th to 12th contact. Now, if we pop back over to our sales process, we'll see that we have lots of opportunities to make contact. And if we take those opportunities and we connect a sales funnel to them, we attach a sales funnel to our sales process, we're going to find we're going to increase the effectiveness of our marketing quite a lot. Now, this slide is of a typical sales funnel for mainstream business. Now, this would be great if you were a business, for example, like the Chronicle of the Horse, and you had a tremendous amount of leads that were coming in and probably some paid advertising out there, and your market was very large. Then looking at your sales funnel this way and adding in a few follow-ups and things like that that help you qualify leads and create opportunities, this would work pretty well. But for most horse business owners, you're looking at a much smaller market, and so, and usually a niche market, a smaller amount of leads coming in. And so what I like to do is I like to have you look at it a different way. I like to take it and separate your lead generation systems and then attach funnels to each one so that you can customize your marketing and follow up to support your actual sales process. Because when you do that, you're going to find it results in a lot more sales because you're actively progressing that sales process. Okay, and you're doing that by following up and by having appropriate marketing materials and a system in place to do that. All right, so where do we start? The first thing I like to encourage people to do is to begin with nailing down your branding and creating written value propositions for each customer segment and or offering that you have. And the reason for this is that your value proposition is going to convey tangible benefits so far as how the customer receives benefit, and your branding, on the other hand, is going to communicate on a more emotional and subliminal level. They work hand in hand. Like I said, your value proposition is about the tangible value your business provides to the customer, and your branding is more about where you want to be amongst your direct competitors in the mind of the customer. And together, the two of these are going to form the core of your marketing communication. And one of the things I think is really important about looking at your brand and your brand identity is bringing into that what your brand integrity is, because it's going to help you to have core values that drive your marketing. And it just gives you that base for holding all your other marketing materials together. and they're going to give you a lot. Doing these two things, if you haven't already done them, will give you a lot of clarity about the purpose of your marketing and what your goals are. Now, the other thing that you'll see on there is a picture, and it's called an empathy map. And you can just draw your own, but what I like about it, it's very helpful for creating your value proposition, and also you can use a customer empathy map at any point in the sales process to help you identify what marketing materials or marketing strategy might be helpful. And I want to quickly here just define how I view marketing. Marketing is not advertising. To me, marketing is about communicating, and it's about building relationships with the customer and your contact. So I'm not a hard sell advertising type person. I don't believe that works in the horse industry. So when I say marketing, I want you to think more in terms of communication. Okay, what's your next step? Your next step is I'd like you to, in thinking about that diagram that I showed you a moment ago with all the colors, I'd like you to think about working on one channel at a time and to actually write down the sales process that occurs for each of those segments. I'd like you to map it out vertically, so going down each segment through your follow-up, and then you're going to kind of make a list of what support materials you need, gather them together. You're going to write really simple operations manuals for your follow-up plan, and that's just going to be like a list of things that you do when a customer is in a certain place of the sales process. And this is then going to connect your sales process with your sales funnel. And then what I want you to do is to take that really simple plan and have it written, put it in your phone as a note, have it in your office as just a very simple thing that you're going to follow, because that will really help you, especially when you're tired, as most of us get in this business, to kind of have a way to just sort of follow your own directions. And some of the support materials that I encourage you to create can be things like frequently asked questions. It could also be like when a new customer comes in or a potential customer calls you, that you have specific sort of customer interview questions that you ask. It could be a list of links to articles that you think potential customers or current customers might find interesting. These are all ways to follow up. Okay. So I want to give you some examples here because I find for me, when there's an example, it really helps me. And so I'm hoping it will be the same for you.